Hey guys, today we were going to start day 2 of our polynomial unit, which is dividing polynomials. We'll spend 2 days on division with 2 different methods. Today we're going to work with long division, and I'm going to start out with a really simple problem, take you way back to probably elementary school. So we're going to divide 125 by 6 without your calculator. So we're going to do this with long division. So if you will remember, we're going to do 6 divided into 125. And I'm going to go over the parts. So 6 is called our divisor. That number that goes in the house is what I call it, is the dividend, sorry. And then we'll get our quotient when we have our answer, and then we'll see if there's a remainder at the end. All right, so the process is, will 6 go into 1? No, it will not, so you were taught to move over. Will 6 go into 12? Yes, it will, 2 times. So that goes on the top. Or you could have came over to the side and said 12 divided by 6 to give you 2 if you needed to work that out. And then you multiply. Okay, so we're going to multiply here. So 2 times 6 will give us 12. And then we always subtract. So your goal is, if you multiply correctly, this is going to give you 0. And then you're going to drop down that next term. 6 will not go into 5. Okay, so we're going to put 0 here, multiply. So 0 times 6 is 0. You're going to subtract, and then that's going to give you your remainder. And most of you were taught to add a decimal with a 0, drop down, keep going. I'm going to stop here simply because that's what we're going to do with our polynomials. And you're going to write your remainder over your divisor. So our solution then, or our quotient, would be 20 and 5/6. So we took our remainder, we put that over our divisor. So then this, our answer, is called the quotient. So that's just a little refresher on how you would do a problem with simply having numbers. We're going to do this whole process with polynomials today. And I've put some steps on here for you that we'll follow as we're completing these. So I'll go through them with you. The first thing we're going to do is make sure the polynomial is written in descending order. If any terms are missing, you are going to use a 0 to fill in the missing terms. This will also help you with spacing. You'll divide the term with the highest power inside the division symbol by the term with the highest power outside the division symbol. You're going to multiply or distribute, which we did up top, the answer obtained in the previous step by the polynomial in front of the division symbol. We'll subtract and bring down the next term. We'll repeat those steps until we have no more terms to bring down. And then you're going to write your final answer. And it says the term remaining after the last subtract step is your remainder and must be written as a fraction in your final answer. And that's exactly what I did here with our remainder. I know that's kind of hard to follow with all the words, so hopefully when I work examples it's going to be easier for you. Okay, so we're going to do step 1, make sure our polynomial is written in descending order. So we have x to the third, x squared, x, and then our constant. So that's good to go. Your divisor is going to be x minus 2. So the divisor is going to come on the outside of the house box, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to put our dividend inside. So then you're going to start your process. So we're going to divide first term by first term. So somewhere over to the side, I'm just going to come here. I'm going to do x to the third divided by x. Subtract your exponents, so that's going to give us x squared. That comes on top of the x squared in your problem, and then you're going to multiply. So I'll just do this the first time. I won't continue to do it, but just so you can see that we're going to multiply, distribute in this case. So x squared times x gives me x to the third. X squared times negative 2 is negative 2x squared. You always subtract, so I put them in circles so I know that I've subtracted every term. And your goal is that your first term cancels out. So x to the third minus x to the third goes away. You know that subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive, so I'm going to go ahead and change those. So we have negative 4 plus 2 would be negative 2x squared. So then I have two terms with only one term to divide into. That's not going to work. So we're going to drop down this 2x. So now I have a binomial divided by a binomial. And then you're going to do that same process again. First term divided by first term. So again, I'm going to come over here. Negative 2x squared divided by x. So that's going to be negative 2x. So we're going to put that up on top of the x's. And then we're going to distribute that. So negative 2x times x is negative 2x squared. Negative 2x times negative 2 is positive 4x. You're going to subtract everywhere. So again, subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. So negative 2 plus 2 is 0. And then here you have 2 minus 4, which would give us negative 2x. Again, this is not big enough. We need it to be a binomial. So we're going to drop down this 5. Always be careful to bring the sign with it. And then we're going to do that same process again. So first term divided by first term. So this time that's going to give us negative 2, which will come right on top of the constant. So see how your x squared, your x, and your constants all lined up. So now you're going to distribute. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Subtract everywhere. So two negatives are going to make a positive. So negative 2 plus 2, those are going to cancel. And then you have 5 minus 4, which is going to give us 1 as our remainder. So then to write your quotient, you're going to take x squared minus 2x minus 2, and then your remainder goes over your divisor. So we're going to say plus 1 over my divisor of x minus 2. So that would be the solution to our first example.